Hello everybody, we are back here on the beginner series, and today's video is going to be quite different than any of the videos that we have done here in this particular series before. We are going to be hunting ducks, and also later in the video, hunting lions with the 308, or I guess the 7mm. I believe that is the only one that is usable on them that we currently own. And we're going to be seeing how good of money-making methods these really are when you're a relatively new player. I've seen a lot of people say that ducks are a great money-making method early on, but I've never really done it too much myself, so I figured we would try it out today. And I know lions can give really good money in XP, but they're also a species that just really does not have a lot of them in one area, so it's really unknown as to whether or not they are going to be good, but I figured we would give both a try today and see if we can make it work. We will also be using the 22 for the very first time, as it is part of the same DLC the 308 is in, so I figured we might as well introduce it into the series as well, as I miss all of my shots with it. So yeah, guess it really doesn't help if we have it if I can't hit the shots, but it is what it is. We'll at least try a few shots at some of these and hope that we hit some of them. But we did end up getting one of the ducks, so that is amazing. Now, there is one DLC that you will need to effectively do this. You're going to need the Duck and Cover DLC, but with it being a very old one, it very often will go on sale for more than 60% off and be virtually free. It's usually just like $1, maybe $1.50 at the most when it's on sale, so it's a very easy one to obtain. Not to mention, if you're on PC and you play on Steam, you can go to a site like G2A and buy the Steam key for the DLC for probably around $2. Sometimes less. So it is a very obtainable DLC, and I believe the majority of people will be able to acquire it if they so wish to hunt ducks. And you can hunt ducks with any shotgun that you want, and also you can use any of the 22s. It doesn't matter which one you're using. Like I said, we're using this one because we've already introduced the Modern Rifles pack into this series, so we would already end up having this. We haven't really introduced Weapon Pack 1 or any of the other packs that have the 22 yet. Eventually we will down the line, but for now we're going to be using the 22 AR, along with our over and under shotgun. So let's wait to have a couple of them land near us. And I'm also doing this without the collar just to show you guys that you don't need to purchase the collar in order to hunt ducks. You can do it without the collar and still have relatively good success at getting those ducks to come down to you. And this is one of those situations where we will probably just shoot a couple of them with the 22. And just like that, we got 2 of them down. Let's see if we can maybe get another, and there we go. One more? No, we didn't get another one, but we did manage to get 3, which is definitely not too bad. For those of you that are curious about the spot, we are on Tiawaroa once again, but this time hunting the ducks at Teitai, whatever that says. And yeah, the ducks are very plentiful at this lake. I see them so much, and they're constantly coming in, so I figured this would be a great place to do it. But let's hop out and grab the ones that we've taken down, since they have started to float into the area. So we have started the day at 30,892 after a little bit of red deer hunting as always, and I guess I should probably show you guys the codex, but let's real quickly talk about something else, as otherwise it's going to be a spoiler. We ended up getting ourselves a diamond mallard duck. I jumped on here to hunt some red deer and then ended up spotting it on the water. So let's show that right now. That is honestly the last thing that I would have expected to find while jumping on here to just hunt some red deer to get a little bit of money. And we ended up finding that beautiful little diamond duck, and definitely a surprising diamond to find. I believe I did actually taxidermize this one. I've been saving most of the trophies to kind of save money. But this one, I think I did actually taxidermize it because ducks are relatively cheap, and typically they are, I think, one of the cheapest in the game to tax, so we went ahead and did that. But now that you guys have seen that, let's check out the latest harvest. You guys can see I did a little bit of lion hunting, then I did a little bit of red deer hunting a couple days later to get a little bit of money, and then finally hopped on and got that diamond duck. And speaking of ducks, let's just... Well then, that was interesting. Well, anyway, as we were interrupted very rudely. Let's take a look at the hunting profile. Right now, we've got those 3 diamonds. We've got 353 total harvests and our level 25. If we go to the player card, we can see the XP right here and how close we are to the next level, as well as all of the different skills and perks that we have put in. We've got all of our score down here, and if we go to the perks right here, I did end up putting a level into recoil management finally. I don't think I've added any more skills, but just in case, we'll take a quick look. It doesn't look like it, so it's just 1 perk point that I've added since the last episode, and that was the recoil management perk. This thing is so useful, it's already helping even with just 1 level put into it. Now let's start grabbing these ducks. That one is a 15.70, and you can see the ducks give about 300 cash, and that's without the consecutive harvest bonus. So they are going to give over 400 whenever we get the full bonuses, and you can typically down a few of them in 1 flock. And the ammo to take them down is very cheap. You can get 22 ammo, 10 of it for like 200. And then for the birdshot, it's virtually the same. So it is very cost effective, I guess. You can take down quite a few ducks with very little money being spent on ammo. And honestly, I think that's why a lot of people were saying that it's probably going to be a great way to make money. That one right there's a brown hybrid, which is not a rare, but they are very cool looking. And we've already got a ton more ducks coming in. Let's, before we claim these, get back to our blind over here and try to take down a couple more. I don't know if I spooked them there. Even if I did, there's more coming in. My gosh, the ducks are just everywhere. I really think Tiawaroa is going to be one of the better places to hunt mallards now. Oh my gosh, right here. We got 2 of them. Let's see if we can get this one. Doesn't look like we managed to get it. Well, let's grab these real quickly. We got an 11.81 right there. And then if we go over to here, we should have 1 more. I don't know if this is a male or a female. We will find out very shortly, though. It was a female. Once again, 8.11. Another tip that I can give you guys now, since this is, I believe, only the 2nd episode after the big update that they did to the game recently. Maybe it's the 3rd episode, but something you can do to quickly accept your trophies after picking them up. If you're on PC, you just press enter, and it will confirm it. And if you have a mouse that has buttons on it, you can bind one of your mouse buttons to be the enter key, and then just press that every time for quick claiming of stuff that isn't diamond or rare. And then if you're on console, I believe it will have a button bound to accepting, so you guys won't have to worry about all of that. It'll just naturally be super easy to accept all of your trophies. But that is quite a bit of ducks down already, and it looks like we've already made like 3,000 credits, so not bad. Oh no, we got another. What are they doing? And we're not reloaded. Well, that didn't go how I wanted it to. Oh, but we still ended up getting one of them down. Beautiful. Here we go. We've got another one landing in a very strange place. I mean, that's not very safe having to shoot at our tent, but, you know, gotta do what you gotta do to get the trophies. And did we get that one too? I don't think we did, but it was worth the shot at least. There is our tent duck. Let's see what we got here. 1523, almost 400 cash. So now we've got the consecutive harvest all the way up. You can see most of the ducks are going to give you around 400. And it does end up being decent for money. I wouldn't say that it's one of the best, but maybe it'll be good for XP. Let's see how much it gave us there. I really was not paying attention, so I guess we'll have to pay attention on the next one. I mean, it seems like they're leveling us up pretty quickly, so maybe ducks actually are going to be a great way to level up, and not so much a good money-making method, but just an okay money-making method. Like I said, this is very much going to be a video testing that stuff. I mean, 132 XP isn't bad, especially since this is a female one. So if you get a lot of them down, I could see how the XP would really add up. Well, with the ducks having landed next to us, I think it's about time we let off a couple shots into some of them and try to get the ones that are flying away. Well, I don't think we got that one, but we did get a couple of them down with the shotgun as they were landed. And a lot of times, if you have trouble hitting them in the air, don't feel bad about shooting them while they're on the ground. It'll still give you the same cash and the same XP. So if that's the way you want to do it, then go for it, because it is a lot easier if you are not the best at making moving shots, and it'll give you the same rewards for doing so. And that right there is a piebald. These are not rare, but they are a very cool looking trophy nonetheless. And once again, we have got a few of them to land, so let's just real quickly reload our gun. That would probably be very helpful. These ducks are incredibly loud as well. I don't even know how well you guys will be able to hear me, because these ducks just will not be quiet. They are so absurdly loud. There we go. We managed to get a second one this time. I have not been on point with the 22 shots today, but that is really nothing new. So we're not getting as many down as I had hoped, but at least we're getting a few of them, and they really do seem to be great XP. I think that is honestly going to be the purpose of duck hunting when you are a lower level, is getting the XP from it, because it actually does give a really good amount. You know, we have been given a very good opportunity right here. I went over here to claim one of the ducks, and there is a ton of them all stacked up on top of each other now. Let's check the distance. This is about 130. So if we zero to like probably, well, it would probably help if I got the right gun, but let's 0 to 100 and aim slightly high and then just try to bop as many as we can. I mean, it definitely didn't go the way I wanted it to, but we did end up getting at least one of them, and maybe we can get one here as well. There we go, 2 of them down. And I would definitely say that our current setup for ducks is not very refined, so we definitely are not able to get as many down as what I've been able to in the past. I'd say decoy placement is very important with the ducks, and I feel like I don't have them placed correctly. If this ever happens to you guys, you can just continue to place them in different areas. Maybe try different blinds, different stands and stuff like that until you find one that works best for the area that you're hunting in. And I do think maybe the collars are a little bit more useful than I thought they were, because we've had them coming down to the decoys, but they haven't really been landing exactly where I need them to land, so that's a little bit of a problem. That's actually a really good duck right there, though. And while I definitely don't think these ducks are going to be the best money-making method, I do think they're actually really good for XP. We can see right here, we've already gained a decent bit of experience just from those ducks, and that's a pretty substantial amount in just a short amount of time. We also did unlock a skill point, so let's go through and see what we can unlock now. I'm thinking maybe we should start working on more ambushers so that we can get to sight spotting. What we're going to do is do this one right here, and then the next skill that we get will be able to unlock sight spotting. We have now moved to Virhonga Savannah to hunt some lions, and we're going to need to purchase a brand new tent because of that. Let's go ahead and purchase one of the camo ones, because I want to get a tent set up at a really good lion location. So let's go ahead and remove probably the 308 since we have the 7mm, and we will drop the tent in there and get on our way to one of the lion locations. One of the cool things about the lions as well is the fact that they really will not be affected by the new spook range changes, and the reason for that is because as long as you're like a couple hundred meters away, if you end up spooking a lion, they typically just run back and forth in one spot and then eventually will stop and just kind of stand there. And we got a few lions down there, so this will be a perfect opportunity to kind of show that off. But we're going to go ahead and take this one first, as it is by far the closest one. Let's 0 for 300 and aim slightly low. And also, let's go ahead and take a look at our cash. We're at 19,818 after buying that tent with 75,300 XP, and we will see how much we end up making from a run of lions. It's 1306 now. We're going to hunt until we run out of time to do so, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. We spooked her, but she's just kind of chilling there. Lions do this a lot, so they actually might be a great way to make money with the new spook range changes. Now, let's go ahead and try to take down some of these lions, though they're definitely not in the ideal poses, so yeah, it's going to be a bit of a problem, but we can maybe get this. All right, so that lion is actually in a really good spot. Now, I decided to loop around the lake and see if we could get a better angle while also coming over to claim these ones that we did kill. And it gave us a really good angle on this lion right here. Now it's moving, though, so that's a bit of a problem, but I think we can still get it. We are going to have to aim slightly high, but I think we ended up hitting the tree, maybe? I don't know. That was a weird shot right there, but it did get them out into the open. And this is a good example of what I'm talking about. They really don't run far when you end up spooking them. Well, let's go ahead and grab this female lion right here. Even for a female, it's 166 XP and 900 cash without the consecutive harvest bonus, and only 29% quick kill, so that's not bad for a female. There's another male lion right there. Let's go ahead and get a shot into this one as well. Hopefully that will take it down, and there's another one right next to it. If we can get a shot into that one, we will do it also. And, yeah, it looks like we'll definitely be able to. Let's just reload, and then we should be able to get a shot into him. And just like that, that should be another lion going down. And we got more of them right there. There's just lions all over this lake. It's kind of crazy. Well, let's start blasting. And there's one right there as well. Man, this place is just a absolute lion haven. One more going down. We have just endless lions to claim now. And this is why I do think lions actually will be a decent way to make money, and definitely a decent way to make XP, as they give around 400 XP for the males. So that is a substantial amount. If you can kill a lot of them pretty quickly, even with the 7 mil like we are right now, I could definitely see them being a phenomenal way for leveling up if you own Virhonga Savannah. And if you have the 300 Magnum, it's going to be even better. Let's grab this female lion right here. 150 XP as well as 871 cash with zero quick kill bonus. Wow. And 20% consecutive harvest. Yeah, I think once we get the consec up and we are dropping them a little bit quicker, we're definitely going to be getting a ton of XP and a ton of cash. Well, this is going to be our very first male lion of the day. Let's see how much we get for it. 346 XP as well as 1200 cash without any quick kill bonus and only 40% consecutive harvest bonus. That is crazy. That is such a massive amount of XP. I can only imagine how much we're going to get when we start dropping males left and right with the 300 Magnum. Whenever we're able to get that, we still need to earn a lot of money and introduce Yukon into the series before we can do that, so we might end up seeing that happen soon in the series. And right here we've got another poorly hit lion, but this should still give us a ton of XP and cash, and it definitely did. 385 XP and 1303 cash, not bad. Uh-oh, it looks like we've got ourselves a floater. I don't know why it just now started floating, and another floater. Well, this is gonna slow things down a little bit, but it is what it is. It's all part of it. That should be another dead lion. I couldn't see that missing vitals. Well, we've got 2 more females right here, and as you can see, the more we get our consecutive harvest bonus and quick kill up, they are giving more cash even as the females and more XP. So even the females are going to be great. And like I was saying, once we get the 300, it's going to be phenomenal. I mean, even this little lion right here, just a level 6, gave us 1500 cash and 443 XP. All right, let's go ahead and grab this lion right here as it did float over. That is 504 XP. My gosh, that is crazy. So I'd say at the current pace, we're definitely not making as much money in XP as Red Deer would, just because we've got a bunch of tents set up for Red Deer, and for Lion, we really don't. So we're having to run up and claim all of them on foot, and it's definitely slowing things down a little bit. But I think once you get a full setup with tents and tripods and everything, a Lion could be up with the Red Deer in terms of just how much money in XP you make per hour. Right now, with a somewhat low-level setup where we don't have a lot of tents and things, I definitely think that the Red Deer are better. But Lions are definitely not bad if you want to do something other than hunting Red Deer, as I know it's not for everybody. And it's definitely something that a lot of people have done pretty tirelessly throughout the lifespan of Call of the Wild. So I understand if Red Deer aren't your thing. If they're not, then it looks like Lions actually might be a pretty good way to earn some XP and money as you're leveling up. We've already got more Lions coming back. Let's try to drop this one if we can. I don't even know if we hit it, but I imagine we probably did. We've just got a couple more to pick up, and then we will be moving on to the next lake. I, however, do need to drop down a tent in this area. That way we can come back here in a later time. Let's get one more shot into that lion just so we get a higher quick kill bonus. And we've got one trying to escape from us, so let's just drop a shot into her if we can. That way we get a little bit more on our way over. And I think what we're going to do is drop the tent right around this area, maybe up on top of this hill so we can kind of get a little bit of a vantage point of the first couple zones. There we go. This should be good right here. This gives us a pretty good view of like 2 or 3 zones. There's a zone there, and then there's a zone kind of over there, and then we've got one that's a little bit closer. This should be a pretty good place to see most of the first few zones on this end. Unfortunately, we didn't end up killing that one that I shot as it was running away, so we're not going to be able to claim it, as I don't think it even died, but we did get this one right here, so we should only have one more to claim. And there is the final lion of this lake right here, 271 XP and 1254 cash. Not too bad. Well, it looks like we got a level 5 just kind of chilling out here at this lake. This is one of my favorite places to hunt the lions. It's actually really good. There's always quite a few of them, so let's get this guy down. I don't know how we went over his back. That was 150 that I was zeroed to, and that was 307 meters, and I aimed above his back. Okay, that was a very confusing shot. I'm 100% convinced that went through him. I aimed above him at 300 while 0 to 150, and it somehow went over his back. So that's a little strange, but that's a hard shot right there, so that makes up for it. Let's get this level 7 down as well. Once again, pretty far away, but I think we should be able to get a solid shot into him, and that definitely looked like a decent one. I hear some more somewhere, but I can't tell where. Wow, that right there is, I believe, a diamond gemsbok. I believe that's a guaranteed diamond gemsbok just out of nowhere. If I'm not mistaken, I believe 343 would make it a diamond. Or maybe it's 350 something. To be honest, I can't remember, but I think that might have a pretty good chance of being diamond and could even be a guaranteed diamond. That's about 230 away. Let's wait for it to come up here. We got to make sure that we don't mess this up. That'd be really cool if our first Verhonga diamond was a gemsbok. Well, they're slowly moving up. I don't see our guy yet, though. Or I guess our girl, because for gemsbok, it typically is the females that end up making diamond. One of the few species where that is the case in most of the species in the game, it's the males that make it. But there is a few where the females can make it also. And gemsbok are one of them. Let's get this down. That should be a solid hit into her. And she should end up going down from it. That is crazy. What an insane thing to find. Now, as I was mentioning with the gemsbok, they're one of the few species where it's primarily the females that ends up making diamond. Males are at level 5 very often, but rarely make it because they max out at about 342, I believe, with 337 being the diamond. So the chances of getting a male to actually make diamond at level 5 is very, very rare. However, the level 4 females make it a lot more often, and if you find a level 5 female gemsbok, it's almost always a guaranteed max weight, max score. Very little is it, or very little times is it not a max score and max weight. So the females make it a lot more than the males, and I believe this was a guaranteed diamond. It is. That is a 347.53. That is a crazy gemsbok. Let's tax that, even though it's going to be 6,000 credits, because this is probably one of the best diamonds we've found on this series. We haven't found a lot of them, but this has to be one of the best ones that we have found. And what a way to find it as well. We were just testing money-making methods for early on in the game via lions and mallards on Tiabaroa, and boom, we got ourselves a beautiful diamond gemsbok. And that right there will be our 4th diamond of all time on this account out of 379 harvests. So we are making pretty good progress when it comes to the diamonds, as the majority of people average a diamond every 100 kills, so this is right in line with how it should be. Now, given that is just an average and your experience may differ, and in many cases people do go on dry streaks where you don't get a diamond for a while, and then sometimes you'll get a bunch of diamonds back to back. That's just how Call of the Wild is, as there is a lot of randomness involved in the game, and you never quite know what trophies are going to show up first for you. Now, let's go get these two lions. There is one of them right there, 423 XP, as well as 1537 cash. And that's just from a level 5. That's crazy. That's just from a level 5. All right, let's go ahead and claim this lion right here. 490 XP and 1565 cash. So after going to all of the 2 or 3 lakes that we did hit up, we ended up circling around that one and then going around these two that are side by side. We managed to take about 3 hours of in-game time, so it's definitely not as efficient as the red deer grind early on, but I do think that if you have a bunch of tents set up for lion hunting, it probably could be just as good, if not a little bit better, just based on the XP that these things give. It could definitely get you XP quicker than red deer, I think. So yeah, that is pretty nice, but I definitely don't think it'll be replacing red deer for me for now. But in the future, once we get more tents, it definitely could be at least on par with red deer grinding on Tiawaroa. And we also ended up getting a level up from that last one, so let's go ahead and add that into our perks. We're going to do one more into recoil management and try to get this up as quick as we can, as it's very vital in making good follow-up shots. And we now have a brand new trophy to place in here. Actually, 2 of them. We've got this female diamond gemsbok, and then we've got ourselves a beautiful mallard. So let's get that right here. And it actually looks like I forgot to put the elk back. I assume I was taking some screenshots of it over in here. So let's get that guy back in there. And while I'm thinking about it, let's go into the saved harvest and tax a few of the trophies that we've killed in this series. Since we do have a little bit of money to do it now, I don't know how expensive these are going to be, so we'll kind of pick and choose the best ones. I definitely want to get the piebald red deer taxed, because this was a very beautiful trophy, so we'll do that. And then I think we will do, to be honest, probably the albino red deer as well. There we go. Our lodge is looking pretty good. At level 27, we've got a few diamonds in here and a few rares as well, and then a few that we still have not taxidermized. And this really is usually the average. This is about what you would expect at this level if you are somewhat familiar with how the game works. Obviously, don't expect to have everything happen the same way that it's happened in this series, as there is a lot of variance in the Hunter Call of the Wild. And like I said, your experience may differ quite a bit based on a number of factors when it comes to like knowledge of where the animals are located, what times their zones are, the exact like best ways to hunt them, and whether or not you do multiplayer hopping and know all the hotspots for every map. That type of stuff is drastically going to affect your ability to find trophies, and also just RNG. There is a lot of randomness that comes into the way the trophies show up. So not everybody is going to get the same amount at the same level, and that's something that's very important to remember. I didn't get my first diamond until I was level 51 when I first started playing this game, because I didn't know nearly as much as I know now when playing it again on a new account a few years later after thousands of hours being put into the game. But anyway, guys, I hope you really did enjoy this video. This has been a fun one to do with a very surprising gemsbok diamond towards the end there. And it's a really nice trophy to add to the lodge. Hope this helped you guys out. As always, I hope you guys learned something from it. And let me know in the comments what you want me to do in this series in the future, as there's still so much we haven't done. With that being said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!